Hey, happy Christmas to each and every one of you. I'm making this video on Wednesday, the 21st of December, 2022. It's me, Alex William Smith by birth, better known to many of you as Jonathan Royal Hypnotist, and my ongoing quest for truth and justice for myself and all victims of Rupert Murdoch's disgrace, fake Sheikh Mazza Mahmood, can be read about more with evidence and documents at circusofthemind.net. Just wanted to give you this quick update and also to make people more accountable. Freedom of information requests are public and the results go public. I've made some freedom of information requests via the website What Do They Know, and also some directly to the given email address for various organisations. Namely, yesterday the 20th of December, and a couple of days before that I did some as well, but I've got them all on file. And I'm supposed to get some responses about the 17th of January, some on the 20th, some on the 23rd. 23rd of January 2022 is the deadline for a lot of them. So by the end of January 2022, to give them an extra 7 days, an extra week, I should have responses from the people I've contacted, namely the Crown Prosecution Service, asking them to disclose all the stuff they failed to disclose to me and other Mahmood victims over the years, because I now know via, and it's mentioned in my appeal documents at circusofthemind.net, that it came out in the High Court phone hacking cases during disclosure that Newsgroup newspapers have in their files communications between the police and the Crown Prosecution Service going back to circa 94-95, where the police and CPS discuss with each other the fact that they could not and should not rely on Mahmood as a witness of truth any further. And yet they continue to do so, and it wasn't until the collapse of the Tulisa Contostavlos case in July 2014 that they stopped relying on his evidence, and dozens of cases that were in the works then collapsed because they could no longer rely on Mahmood as a witness of truth. But there's documents exist saying they couldn't rely on him circa 94-95. Why was that never disclosed to me in 98-99, the time of my legal proceedings as per circusofthemind.net, or to any of the subsequent Mahmood victims after me? Big, massive question. Now, I've also contacted the CPS, Crown Prosecution Service Inspectorate, who actually got back to me yesterday and said they don't have any of the documents I asked for on file. Apparently they don't have any documents or access to documents from 93-94 up to the present time, 2022, in relation to any cases that collapsed involving Mazza Mahmood, or in relation to any cases that the CPS lost that involve Mazza Mahmood. Apparently they don't have access to any of that. I assume that's because it's the Crown Prosecution Service themselves that have that stuff. Incidentally, that means also in 2014, when they had the opportunity after the Tulisa trial collapse, they sent some disclosure packs out to us previous victims, and all they included was a tiny bit of information about what was said in the Tulisa case. But it didn't mention anything about the fact that Tulisa and her friends believe their drinks had been spiked. Well, I now have a statement from Steve Grayson, who used to work with Mahmood, categorically stating a sworn statement saying that he witnessed Mahmood drug somebody during the course of a sting, therefore making it more likely that all of us that have asserted over the years that we believe our drinks were drugged or spiked because of the effect they had on us way beyond that it normally would. There's been loads of us have said this both prior to court, in court, and consistently since. Why was the fact that brought up in the Tulisa case never disclosed to us by the CPS either in that disclosure pack? Why at no time was the fact that in 94-95 time the police and CPS said to each other, communicated with each other and said Mahmood cannot, should not and could not be trusted as a witness of truth, never disclosed to us? Why, when there have been trials since then, before the Tulisa case, that collapsed and didn't get to court, or went to court and then CPS lost them, or it collapsed or whatever, involving Mahmood, were these not disclosed to us either? Because many of them, as I understand it, do and did throw doubt on Mahmood's reliability as a witness of truth. I honestly believe that my conviction in 1999, as per the details of circusofthemind.net, was and still is a miscarriage of justice, not least of which because I was not afforded the same journalistic licence that Mazen Mahmood was. Why, if he was allowed to apparently legally buy alleged counterfeit coins in the Pursuit of story, was I not allowed that right in pursuit of a story? And it was accepted by the judge, police and everyone involved that I was in pursuit of a story, namely exposing Mahmood's dishonesty. All of that's explained at circusofthemind.net. So yeah, the latest is that today, the 21st of December, numerous Freedom of Information requests are into the Crown Prosecution Service. The Crown Prosecution Service Inspectorate, CPS Inspectorate, the Criminal Cases Review Commission, the Minister for Justice, the Attorney General, the Judicial Department, a whole bunch of other places. And also an official complaint has gone in to the CPS, Crown Prosecution Service Inspectorate, that I've copied the Attorney General into. I've copied my local MP, Tony Lloyd, because I live in Rochdale, Greater Manchester, into that as well. I've copied the Justice Minister, Dominic Raab, into that, because I want them to ensure that the Crown Prosecution Service Inspectorate do indeed act on my complaint and investigate the Crown Prosecution Service and discover why they have never disclosed to me or other Mahmood victims the numerous times cases have collapsed or been lost by the CPS because of doubts being cast on Mahmood's evidence or the reliability of elements of the case or whatever. Things that could have been useful to us victims in avoiding getting caught, prison time, as some of us did, through what are quite clearly massive miscarriages of justice, as explained at circusofthemind.net. Please spread this far and wide. Somebody needs to be held accountable. They knew back in 94-95 time that Mahmood could not and should not be trusted as a witness of truth. And yet they still let his cases go through. Despite the fact numerous people asserted the fact that evidence tapes have been spliced, which we now know definitely to be the case, that phones were hacked, unlawful information gathering techniques used, which definitely were, see circusofthemind.net, that people were drugged, drink spikes. Again, we know all these things, that basically things were fabricated. It's massive miscarriage of justice, not just me, loads of other people. Watch this space. I'll report back to you by the end of January 2023 to let you know what, if anything, all these people have disclosed to me through Freedom of Information requests, and what, if anything, progress-wise has occurred with the Crown Prosecution Service Inspectorate in terms of the complaint I've officially filed to them today. Bye for now.